Right, today we're going to look at preparing to record in Logic. We're going to go through creating tracks, mono and stereo, input selection, how to work with larger projects, setting up sound cards, input monitoring, record enabling, recording, click tracks and takes. So I'm in the arrange window here and I'm going to create a track to arm and record with. So to do that, I click the little plus symbol here near global tracks and I choose a mono audio track, which is audio selected, and I want one of them. I want a mono track, and here is where you can choose your input source. So we choose one. Usually if you haven't got a sound card set up, this is going to be your mic input on a Mac. This is input monitoring and record enable. If you leave that ticked off for the moment, click create. Now that we've created the track, we've got an audio track here. It's always good practice to name the track something. So this is the track channel strip for that. You can see that input is set to input 1 and output is set to stereo output. This is a mono track. We can change it to a stereo track by clicking down here and then clicking stereo, and what that will do is that will create a stereo track from the mono track, and it will automatically set your input to 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on what you've got selected. If you've got input 1 selected, it will usually pair 1 and 2 together, but for the sake of this, we're going to do a mono recording to start off with. So yeah, we choose our input from the input and out here. Now input monitoring. Input monitoring is when you click the eye here, and what it does is it sort of tests the input for you. It takes the input from the input source and it will run it through all the effects and anything you've got set up through the channel, to usually good for like level checking. So if we do that, you can see here that my vocals are going through this new input channel now, the new vocal channel. So we click off of that. Now what we want to do is record enable it. So by clicking record enable, it basically arms the track ready to record. Doing that automatically turns on input monitoring. And it also, once you click record, it will start recording that track for you. So let's do that. Let's record a bit of my vocals. Down here, you can see it's recording. Down here, you can hear the clicks going off. If you want to turn that click off, you can click here, and then that will turn that click off. As you can see, it is recording, and it's going across. To stop the recording, you can click stop or press the space bar. Double clicking that audio will bring up the sample editor of that waveform. As you can see, it was really quiet, so if we normalise it, there we can see my audio that recorded pretty loud. Press spacebar. Down here, you can see it's recording. Down here, you can hear the clicks going off. If you want to turn that click off, you can click here. So yeah, that's basics in recording of that. So that's how you control your click. Logic's got a nice feature called takes. It allows you to record over the top of your previous recording. So say you've got a vocalist or an instrumentalist, you can have them keep on playing over a loop section, for example, and it will keep on recording over the top, and then you can choose which one of those takes or what part of that take that you want to have in your final mix. So to do this, what you should do really is create a loop by picking the region up here, at the measure, and then drag it to how much you want to loop. So for this, I'll loop the whole 10 bars that I've already recorded. Now, if I click record again, and as you can see, it's recording now over the top of my previous track. So if I just let it do that, and then we'll see what it does. But what it will do is it will allow me to select between the two tracks, what part of the two tracks, so I can make, so I can mix and match between the two recording takes. You can see that it's gone through once. I've got another one here, it's my second take, and that's automatically muted my first take. So let's record a third take, and then we'll have a look at the options that we can do once we recorded that take. Right. So once again, normalize that so everything's at the same volume. So by clicking on one of the muted regions, it automatically unmutes it. This region at the top, the one that's in line with the meter and the vocal name tag and all of this, that's the track that's actually going to be played. These are the takes, so if I click on them you can see that one changes. Say for example that I wanted this segment changing. If I didn't want this little segment here on this track, I preferred the one on this one. So what I can do is I can just drag that bit like that, and what it does is it will play that bit, then this bit, and then that bit again, and you can create lots of mixing and matching between tracks. Once you've finished, you can flatten and merge, flatten, or you can even unpack. You can unpack all the tracks, all of the takes onto different tracks, which is quite a good thing to do. So that's the basics of that. Now setting up the inputs. If you go to Logic and we've got preferences, we click on audio there. We can see our input and outputs. Now, for the way that I've recorded this video, I'm having the output of Logic go through Soundflower, which is then being routed through to the program I'm using to record my screen with. But I've got a Sapphire Pro 24 Focusrite as my sound card at the moment, and that's loaded through there as set as my input device. I can choose a built-in microphone or my built-in line input on my Mac if I preferred. But on a larger project, let's say for example that we've got a big multi-track or a live situation that we want to record on. What we can do is we create a new track. If we create 16 new tracks, and we want it to start on input 1 because I've got 16 inputs on my sound card. So if I start on input 1 and I click ascending, and I want them all as mono audio tracks, now I click create. What it will do is create 16 new tracks, starting at input 1, then input 2, input 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 16. That will quickly enable me to create lots of new tracks and allow me to very quickly record enable it. Even in the mix a few, I can just click record enable and it will record enable all of the tracks that I've got selected. That's really easy to allow me to record a big group of tracks on a sound card all at the same time very quickly. If I loop it, I can record takes over the top of that, and it's just really simple. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'll get going on making some more videos on inserts and channel strips, the library and media browser, the arrange window, the environment, quantizing, and loads of other things you can do with Audio MIDI in Logic Pro.